that make sense? I always tell people, they say, well, if 50 cents is on the floor, you don't trip off. Yes, I do. I've still been there to pick it up. It's still 50 cents. Does it make sense? And I'm paying these bills anyway. Okay? So that's going to knock you $200 every 30 days, whether you get out of bed or not. Now watch this. Let's move to the next slide. If 20 duplicate the system, now you got 200 people on your team. This is the thing I love about this deal. When I first watched this presentation, one, I wasn't paying attention. Let me be honest. Because I thought I had to go get 200 people. I went to get 3. Does it make sense? My team turned to 200. People followed the same system on one accord. And let me be honest, some people quit. It's okay. Okay? But 20 people on your 200 people on your team, 20 customer points, same 50 cents. That's $2,000 every 30 days. Can you guys use $2,000 right now every 30 days? Right? Here's the scary part about this. It's so funny. I was with my father today, and my father's check, retirement check, after 54 years of service is $1,500. 4 years in the military, 30 years government printing office, 20 years blue plane on 295. $1,500. Now you would never know it because his son is rich. But the funny thing about that, he showed me a blueprint of what not to do. Because I could have easily fell in that same pattern of poverty. And then, you know, it's so funny, when we don't know, we don't know. And then when we don't know, we pass that same poverty-stricken mindset to the kids. And then they give it to their kids. Does that make sense? So as I start understanding, leveraging the system, because understand, this is the leverage part and the residual part of the business at the same time. Because what happens is when I bring this young lady into my business, I'm going to teach her how to get 20 customer points. But when she brings this young lady into the business, she's going to teach her how to get 20 customer points. She's going to teach you how to get 20 customer points. Now, what just happened? I brought her in, she brought her in, she brought you in. That's 20, 40, you now get paid on 60 customers. But because I brought her in, I don't know you guys, but I get paid on 80 customers. You see how this works. And you're going to pay these bills, how do I know? Because you're paying them already, you're not even in the business. Does that make sense? But what happens when 2,000 people show up on your team? I have 15,000. That's $20,000 a month. And this is a residual income. And the thing about this business, when people don't join, I don't understand why. I had to learn how to get past that. But I can't understand how people don't join a business where you have the potential of being able to make something back from something that you're already paying. Especially when we're not changing your buying habits. And then but you will have to work 40 years to make that income. But they'll get this business and they will stretch this business for 3 to 5 years. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, residuals take time to grow. So we're going to talk about some weekly money. You guys okay with weekly money? Good. See, the founders are very crafty. They understand they have to pay us now to keep us. Okay? So what they did, they gave us some leadership titles, and that's what you see there. Executive trainer, executive director, national director, senior vice president, and of course platinum. And they gave us these titles because they know that we like titles. That's real simple. Right? I mean, a lot of broke CEOs, but they give me a card every time. Right? I'm a CEO, I'm a president. You know, then I share opportunities because I know need more money. Right? But the reality is that I love ET, but I'm in love with PSVP. Why? Because that green margin is higher than that margin. Just means I'm making more money. But I also helped a lot of people have success. Because I had to help people have success in order to even be a platinum. You know, you heard Steve Carter's lifestyle story where he spoke about no racism, no sexism, no nepotism. It doesn't apply in corporate America. I mean, it doesn't apply here, but it applies in corporate America. You have to know someone in corporate America. You got to get there early. You got to leave late to be noticed. Okay? The beautiful thing about this is that if you just follow a system that we're going to show you, okay? Because keep in mind, none of us partners here had any telecom experience. I don't think we still don't. Okay? We don't have energy experience, but we're smart enough to position ourselves around the experts, the ones that have all the overhead, and then we get free mentorship. Does that make sense? Okay? So the first time you get those 2 individuals in your organization and those 20 customer points, the computer will promote you to executive trainer. I understand I said the computer. This is a home-based business. I live right around the corner from Dr. Marty. Okay? And the beautiful thing about this deal, she has more degrees than a thermometer. I have a diploma. That's my degree. But I passed College University. That's my degree too. But when you think about this deal, Dr. Martin is much smarter than me. Does it make sense? But it doesn't matter whether she got it before me or if I got it after her. The team pushed you up. Does that make sense? So you got to help people have success for you to have success. So executive trainer, the computer will promote you. Once you hit that level of executive trainer, $25 for anyone that signs into your organization. Now, a lot of people always ask me after the meeting, they say, well, executive trainer, that's not a lot of money. And I always say, well, how much do you make an hour? And the average person tells me, I make $200 an hour. I said, well, that's $25 and you did nothing. Then it stretches their mind a little bit. So imagine you guys getting into the business, someone signs into your organization, or you sign me in. First time I had my meeting like this, 27 people signed in, and you got paid $25 times 27, but you don't know these people. Okay, that's a beautiful day for you. Okay? The next position, executive director. The company says if you can get there within 60 days, and understand this, guys, that's not but 7 people in your group. See, to me, all I did was sign up 7 broke family members that needed more money. The ones that kept asking me to borrow money. I just invited them to a meeting. All 7, get in. The moment they signed in, they paid me $60 times 7. And because I did it within my first 60 days, they gave me a $750 bonus. Does this make sense? So understand what I just said to you guys. If you hit ET within 30 days, that's a $750 bonus. If you hit ED within 60 days, that's an additional $750 bonus. So that's $1,500 in your book of business if you did this within 60 days. And of course you'll be an executive trainer, so they've got to pay you $25 per person that comes into your organization, or $60 per person that comes into your organization at the ED level. Does it make sense? Next position is national director. $55 for anyone that comes into your organization. Again, another prestigious position. Keep in mind, guys, when I hit that position, and I always share this with people, I was the 8th highest paid in the company. I was doing $28,000 a month. And I stayed there for 2 months. And the funny thing about that is this is when I actually understood that the company actually worked. Because at these levels, I was seeing somebody, executive director, I made about $8,000, national director, I made $28,000. But the thing about me, I didn't even know how I did the $28,000. So I became a student of the game. Does that make sense? Okay? And what ended up happening, if I signed up Mark here, myself, as a national director, then they paid me $55. But if Mark came in as an independent marketing representative, which is the position before executive trainer, they paid me $55 for signing him up, they paid me the $60 for signing him up, and they paid me the $25 for signing him up. Because there's no one between the IMR and the national director. Does that make sense? If this young lady was an executive trainer, and she signed Mark up, then they would pay her $25. I'm the national director. So they're going to pay me the $60 and the $55. You see how this works. Okay? Senior vice president. Guys, I don't want you guys to miss this. Again, this was another aha moment for me and a common sense moment. Because I didn't have any clue whether this company would go public. I didn't have any clue whether the company would be a multi-billion-dollar company. They told me it would be, but that remained to be seen. People told me that people were making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, but I was an executive trainer. My first check was $47. So I couldn't see $20,000 a month. I could in my head, but not in my bank account. But I knew all about the E500 magazine, being a businessman prior to LINX. And anytime you have Google, you guys familiar with Google, of course, and Microsoft, and Facebook, and Domino's Pizza, and Timberland, all these are now multi-billion-dollar companies. Would you agree? They came out of this publication. They came out of this publication. And again, like Dr. Martin said, 500 of the fastest growing privately held companies in Northern America. So that simply tells me if LINX been in this book 4 years in a row, and their cousins, the Facebooks, the Googles, are billion-dollar companies, then we will also be a billion-dollar company. Does this make sense? Because we traded in the same publication. Facebook wasn't always a multi-billion-dollar company. Neither was Google. It was just a thought, an idea. Now today we're all on Facebook, but we're not getting paid for Facebook. Okay? So this was an aha moment for me because they said when you hit senior vice president, you get stock options. But they also said we need about 500 senior vice presidents to go public. And we only have about 142. So we're very ground floor. Platinum, of course, there's only 16 platinums in the entire company. The funny thing about our company, everyone at the top of the company looks just like us. And if you do your research on multi-level marketing, most people at the top of the company don't look like us. So we got to position ourselves to understand, out of those 16 people, me being one of them, 12 of them had no experience. None. Stan drives a bus. We don't know more, but he did. But he lives around the corner. He's now author of a book. Okay, so I always say, if Stan can do it, then it's possible that I can do it. Does it make sense? Okay? Now, you get the 5,000 shares of stock option. You get a BMW of your choice. They give you a silver BMW. I always say in every presentation, you must have good credit. One thing I do not do in multi-level marketing, I do not mislead. I don't mislead because we already have a preconceived notion that it doesn't work. But you have to get this, you don't have to get this BMW. You can get the BMW. It will give you up to $800 a month to import to your production. And on an annual vacation, this annual vacation is so powerful because I've been on a lot of trips that I paid for. That's what I call a trip when we pay for it. But in June, we're all going to the Bahamas. All the executives, your significant other, if they're good that month, you can take your significant other, right? And you go with the founders. Now here's a powerful thing about that. Think about how that vacation is when you show with your significant other, but you have a weekend or 5 days with 3 founders that's on a crash course to $1 billion. And you can just pick their brain. That's powerful. Again, my things I have a lot of time, and I've been blessed with that. But when I think about Bill Gates when he started Microsoft, everyone knows Bill Gates today because we say Bill Gates. People know him when he was just William, right? And then they gave Bill, then they gave Bill Gates. But imagine sitting down with William, when William was the Jason J. McCraig of our company. He just had vision and hope. You follow me? So the blessings will continue to flow if you continue to position yourself around multi-millionaires. You get an expense account from doing what I'm doing, anywhere between $500 and $1,500, whether we do this or not. And this is just to run our organization. Okay? That's on top of the other 11 ways that we get paid in this business. We get paid every Friday. Okay? We don't get a paycheck. We get a Filings Visa card. And if you get paid $1,000, you will get an email. And the email will read, congratulations on your most recent performance. We just put $500 into your account. Which means if the Visa is in your wallet, you got $500 that just went in your wallet. If you're like me and they paid you $36,000 last week, then $36,000 is on your Visa. That was a good day. I love Fridays. Okay? Let's go next slide. Now, everything I just mentioned prior to the slide, you keep. Okay? You keep. But when you hit the position of platinum, that's the position my wife and I just hit, they give you an additional 5,000 shares of stock option. So imagine this, guys. Imagine you having 10,000 equity ownership in Google. None of us would be here today. See, I was too afraid not to get involved. My thinking was this. I already know what boxing had done for me, and it was very good to me. I know what real estate has done for me. It was very good to me. But those things stop, and what people have to understand is that the things that we're involved in is nothing more than just the vehicle to take us to the next level. The problem is some of us just stay in the vehicle too long. Right? Or we ride until the wheels get flat and the rims fall off. Right? So I had to get out of those vehicles and open my mind up to get into a different vehicle. Does that make sense? Okay? So you get an additional 5,000 shares of stock. You get a Bentley of your choice. You see my Bentley in the driveway. It was so awesome when we hit that position. I had already had my Bentley picked out. Way before I hit platinum. The owner of the Chicago Bulls, that's his Bentley. He paid for the depreciation. It's a 2012. He paid $221,000. I got it from him for $491,000. He sold it. They give me $4,000 a month. I never see the car note. The car note goes to Rochester, New York, the corporate office. They pay the car note. My insurance is $181. And I mean a lot of people, they say it's not about the cars. Let me tell you something. For me, it was about the car. Because I live in Bowie. And Bowie is a perception area. People want to do business with people that look successful. Okay? And that's a pinnacle of our success that the company does exactly what they said they're going to do. Okay? I still have my 750 BMW. I don't drive it too much no more. But they gave us the Bentley, and that also has to be silver. Or the great family. They give you a diamond ring, men and ladies, they give you a diamond pendant. But more importantly, they give you a thing called a platinum pool. Every January, collectively with these customers, whether they're your customer or a customer from my organization or Garland's organization, it doesn't matter. Any customer that's in 5LINX, that's on the digital telephone adapter, the alarm services, we have this thing called platinum services, which is our website. When we pay these bills collectively that we spoke about this evening, Okay? 75 cents from the bill goes into a pool every month from hundreds of thousands of customers. And in January, that pool grows. Last year it grew to 1,083,000. Today it's at 434,000, somewhere like that. They're predicting the pool to be 2.5 million by the end of this year. And if you're a platinum, you break it up as a bonus check. So last year, they walked off the stage with a $119,000 bonus check. Keep in mind, most platinum senior VPs make $500,000 or better. Okay? Most average platinums make $500,000 or better. Guys, let me tell you something. I've done a lot of great things in boxing. I have a lot of real estate. But it was a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of risk. My vision in real estate was to own a lot of property, and we achieved that. We achieved buying 42 properties. And I said, if we could just average our properties out at about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, we'll have a great residual income. The problem with that is when people lose their jobs, they don't pay any bills. And the rent is the first thing they don't pay. And if you know the DC law, you can't just kick people out. Maryland, you just can't kick people out. So what that did for me, and what it's done for a lot of people in the real estate development environment, which is in my organization, it made them open their minds up and expand their thinking. And it did the same thing for me. So now, at this level, in January, we'll break up this money. And understand, all the money I'm speaking about is 1099 money. I always tell people, the young lady asked me not long ago, what's 1099 money? She was 42. She didn't know what 1099 money was. And I said, it's when you make $800. Then I said, stop. I said, let me explain to you like this. I said, how long have you been working? She said, 20 years. I said, you get gross or net? She said, well, that's stupid. I get net. I said, okay, well, imagine you get all your gross. I said, that's 1099 money. I still lost her, so I had to kind of write down on a piece of paper. But what I was explaining to her is that if you get $5,000 check, for instance, you get your whole $5,000. And then you take care of Uncle Sam after you write off what you need to write off. And so it clicked for her probably after an hour. And then she called me back and she got into the business. So keep in mind, in this business, guys, it's all 1099 money. It's 12 ways to get paid. It's a lot of information. You don't have to know all of it. But we already gone through the growing pains for you. All we're going to do is show you what to do, and all you got to do is follow the system. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. Next slide speaks about, I hope it's the investment side. Let's go to the next slide. The next slide is the investment side. And when I seen this guy, when I got involved, most of us got involved with $500 back in the day. And I say back in the day, keep in mind, I've only been in it for 4 years. And out of 4 years, 4 months, I did nothing. So I've been in it for 3 months and what? 3 years, 8 months. That's how long I've been in this business. Because keep in mind, 4 years, 4 months, I did nothing. When I say nothing, I gave up my $500 and I said, leave me alone. Because no one makes money like this. Why? Because my parents put in my brain, if it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. My parents put in my brain, have a trade, because if something goes bad, you need to fall back on something. But they never told me to fall forward on something. So I fell forward on this and I started taking it seriously. But a couple of years ago, they cut the price in half to buy your licensing fee. There's customer representative, and then there's independent marketing representative. Customer rep simply means, CR simply means, you can get into this organization. What's your name? Leroy. Leroy, you can sign into this organization. Let's say you sign up as a customer rep. But then you sign up myself, Marty Wynn. And Leroy, I bring in 14,999 representatives. And you get paid on 62,000 customers. But you came in at $99, so you don't get paid on none of those. You're going to only get paid off those 20 customer points that you got. You follow me? Yes. So I always call that a decision that most people jump off of bridges. Because most people look at this and say, $99, I'm going to join $99 because I'm going to just try this business. You can't just try the business. I've never seen someone go to a 9-to-5 job and just try their job. You follow me? So you want to come in, Leroy, an independent marketing representative, IMR, for $249. One, because it's not a lot of money. And then you got to weigh out the investment versus the potential of the company. It costs $100 just to put gas in the building. More importantly, most of us got a $249 mistake in our closet. So people can't tell me that they don't have it.
You follow me? And I do understand most people don't have 249. But the reality is, if I put the Bentley on sale for 249, everyone comes up with it. 249. Right? So what I tell people to do, Leroy, come in at the 249, and then we'll get their filings, products, and services. Now, when you get in, Leroy, you're not going to stock any product. You're not going to go buy these things and put them in your trunk and sell them wholesale and get retail. You're not going to do that. Okay? You're going to get a very professional website and a virtual office the moment you sign in. The leadership will teach you what to do thereafter. You will get on your products and services. Keep in mind, guys, I want to say this publicly, it's not about the product. It's about the system. The product keeps us legal because we own the service. Okay? That's why, you know, AT&T and Verizon, they'll give you free hardware all day long. They're interested in the bill. The monthly bill. Okay? So keep that in mind. Future Services is not here because it's gas and electric. It's a $500 billion industry. Matter of fact, it's going to pay you way more than the internet and telecom combined can ever pay you. And the funny thing about that, I now get paid on over 9,000 energy customers. I have personally got 6 energy customers. But because I have an organization, all they did was change over their own bills. They took BG&E. They took the supplier portion of the bill. They lowered the rate. BG&E still sends them a bill. They still pay it the same way they've been paying it, and sometimes BG&E gives them a little bit back. Does that make sense? Okay, it's all about making a little bit of a whole lot. Okay? So that's Future Services. Customer acquisition is what I just spoke about. That's the checks every Friday. We get paid twice on the 15th of the month because that's the residual run. Okay? Then, of course, the quick start bonus is $750. $750 is very important, guys. More important than a lot of guests know, and sometimes more important than a lot of the partners even know. Because with that $750 is going to allow people to understand that they actually paid me. I got my 2 people like they say get. I got my 20 customer points. Now, get this, Leroy. If you get 10 customer points, is that still a promotion on the table right now? If you get 10 customer points, they'll still give you the money. But you want to shoot for the 20. I don't really train on the 10. Okay? You want to get your 20 customer points by any means necessary. Invest the money. Get your 2 business partners. Is this your lovely wife?
Yes.
That's your first business partner.
That's right.
You follow me?
I'm signing up tonight.
Immediately. Right? And then what happens before you get your 20 customer points, she gets her 20 customer points, that's 40 customers in your book of business. You make $750, she makes her $750, that's $1,500. You go to ED, within 60 days she go to ED, that's $3,000 in your household.
You see that?
Yeah, I seen it. I'm ready to just give myself the presentation. So that's powerful. So you want to get back that $750 immediately. Okay? Just go one more slide and I think we're done. One more slide. You have to be trained and support. Leroy, every Wednesday we have a business opportunity meeting that I always tell the guests to get to. Why? You want to get there once so you meet the leadership. Get familiar with your surroundings. Same way you have to get familiar with the workforce, the job. But more importantly, you want to sit there because you're going to hear this over and over, and the repetition is going to teach you. Okay? So you want to get to the training. You want to have support through the leadership, whoever brings you on board. Okay? You're going to definitely have that because your success is their success. Okay? Then you have this thing called 5 LINX University. You do this from home. It's just on a laptop. You want to finish the exams from executive trainer all the way to platinum. You also want to pay that one-time charge of $45 for your energy. Because here's the deal. I have 9,000 customers in energy, but if I never paid $45, I wouldn't get paid on my 9,000 customers. More importantly, you want to be certified because it's highly regulated. Okay? But I give people 48 hours to finish 5 LINX University. 48 hours. Because that's going to teach you a whole lot about what we do. How to speak to individuals, what to say, what not to say, things like that. And once you complete it, you can go back over it if that's what you choose to do. We talked about websites, we talked about bench reporting, and we talked about local trainings. Coming up into this May, is the national convention. This is where the senior VPs, the platinum senior vice presidents, the Bentleys, the BMWs, the stock options are given away. You see the Grammy Awards?
Yes.
It's like the Grammys. Okay? Everyone huddles up. We get, not only do we get phenomenal training, but you also hear individual stories when they get carried to the stage by their teams. Okay, regular, everyday people. You know, some people have been laid off their job. Some people get on stage and they just let it go. But the beautiful thing about it, these are just regular people with no experience. Okay, and we just learn through others. We learn through others' mistakes because failure and mistakes are meant to instruct. So we're gonna go through a lot of that, but you have us, so you don't have to go through a lot of it at all. Okay, So normally when we do this meeting, it's a few type of people in the room. The first person says, I see it, but it's not for me. And I have to come to grips that it's not for everybody. Okay? Some people are just not going to get this. You know, the other day I was going through Oak Creek, which is off of Church Road, and a security guard stopped me and he said, what do you do? And I said, well, I own a multi-level marketing company, and I show individuals how to make money residually. And I called him today because he asked me to, and the first thing he said after I spoke to him, keep in mind, he stopped me. The first thing he said to me, he said, man, if it's too good to be true, you know, probably not true. And I already knew he was going to sell all these things. He told me he had 2 full-time jobs, he was going through a divorce, and he needs this more than I know that he knows he needs it. And I just simply said to him, I said, listen, I'm just sharing an opportunity with you. If you come out and see the presentation, it's free. Make a choice. But I know from the time we got off the phone, he said, I'm fearful. And I always tell people, limits like fears are often just an illusion that we make up in our head. You know, we're fearful of what? I mean, I'm fearful that you actually have to have a job in order to sustain your household, knowing somebody can fire you. Okay? So this is not going to be for everybody, so don't get turned off when people say, it's not for me. But if it is not for you guys, and I think it is, but if it's not, you know, get back with whoever invited you. You know, become a customer, because you guys have these services. The second person asks questions. Host the leadership, ask the questions. The third person says, I'm in. It's very simple. Just make a choice. And whatever choice you make, God don't make no mistakes. Okay, you guys are here by design. You know, again, my whole goal in my life today is to make sure my kids are financially free. 3 generations in. Okay, and we can do that a lot by being in this company, but understanding that this is a vehicle that we can take full advantage of right now. Any of us probably didn't get involved in Google, but we weren't invited. And probably we had the right skin complexion. I don't know. But the reality is, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They've been in that publication. They're in the publication, and I can't miss this. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys for having me out, and good luck with your choice.
Thank you. PSVP Marty Wynn. Applications, anything? I heard somebody say somebody signed up. All right, go ahead. I heard that, right?
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. If you have any questions about the opportunity, please get back to the person that invited you to see the presentation today. We want to thank Platinum Senior Vice President Marty Wynn for being with us today, and National Director, soon to be Senior Vice President Dr. Mayor Martin, all the leadership in the room. If you'd like to see this opportunity in its entirety, visit aplanb4me.com. That's aplanb4me.com. You'll see all about our company, as well as a 25-minute overview of the opportunity. Thank you and have a good afternoon.
Streaming live?
It was true, we were having connection issues like nobody's business. Murphy. So I ended up having to do it on my phone. Welcome to the team.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the team.
Yeah, I hear that.
After this one, I'm done. Are you serious? Thank you. Mama is nice.
My girlfriend clearly.